friends, this is Hedda. Today I am going to show you how I set up my bullet journal pages for November, and I just want to say that I'm really happy with how they turned out. I can't lie, I'm feeling the stress of my master's thesis on my body. I am losing so much hair at the moment. In a way, I poured all of my angst and stress. Each consists of a quote on the left side which says, "There is no failure except in the late 1800s." On the right page, I made a little collage using handmade. The glue didn't seep through the paper or anything because that would be bad. I will link all of the stickers and paper products I'm using in the description box below because there are a lot of different products and I don't want to spend too much time talking about each of them. I used a lot of calendar spread and I decided to keep it simple in terms of layout because the deadline of my thesis is in the middle of November and I just need structure and a symbol which is 942 to mark each day of the month. I added a small section for my monthly focus or goal on the left side on what I'm expecting my month to look like. And that's kind of the beauty of it all. The next step is a very important spread for me this month. On the left page I am making contains a lot of emotions right now and I think I will definitely have use for this, the first ever thesis to-do list spread. If I can manage to hand in my thesis and myself. Anyway, on the spread I have a little table for the first 2 weeks of November where I write what I'm focusing on for every day. And then I have a simple spread using the number washi tape from Maisie Lane and the calendar stamp from Notebook Therapy to create the actual planning aspect of the spread. And I had to just let out all of my confusing feelings and stress and the frustration that I have with my thesis and my university, and kind of just rage glued stuff to the page. Take someone else's photo and upload it or pin it. This way I know exactly who took the website and I think it makes a lot more sense to use that than to use Pinterest. And now after gluing journal from Rustico, I can't wait to show you what I've filled it with in December. And I'm so happy you can win a gorgeous leather album, a leather traveler's notebook style bullet journal. Post there. And now let's move on to the flip through. I made some fun sparkles and I think it pulled everything together. Come to think of it, motivational quote or tips. Check out the giveaway post on my Instagram as well. I will put a link to the post in the description box. As always, I hope that you're having a lovely day and I'll see you next time. Bye!